In the grand chessboard of global military power, the major players have long been established. Nations like the United States, Russia, and China have dominated the skies for decades with their expensive and technologically sophisticated fighter jets. These aircraft are not just weapons, they are symbols of dominance, projecting influence across continents and ensuring that no adversary can challenge their control. The entire structure of modern air power has been built around these behemoth programs, creating a clear hierarchy where might is determined by the size of a defense budget. This established order, however, is now facing an unexpected and deeply unsettling challenge from a much smaller nation. The source of this anxiety comes from Sweden, a country known more for neutrality and furniture than for military disruption. Their creation, the Saab JAS 39 Gripen, is a fighter jet that is quietly rewriting the rules of aerial combat. On the surface, it might not seem like a direct competitor to top-tier American or Russian jets. It lacks the same level of stealth technology and doesn't carry the same political weight. But its true power lies not in its physical frame, but in its revolutionary design philosophy and the advanced systems hidden within its core. Superpowers are beginning to realize that the Gripen represents a fundamental shift, one that threatens to make their expensive air forces less relevant. This fear is not about a single aircraft defeating another in a dogfight. It is about something much broader and more strategic. The Gripen threatens the very business model that underpins the military-industrial complexes of larger nations. These countries rely on selling massively expensive hardware, like the F-35, to allies, which creates a network of technological and political dependency. The Gripen offers a different path. It is a highly capable, technologically advanced, and most importantly, affordable alternative that gives smaller nations a level of air power they could previously only dream of. This democratization of the skies is a nightmare for those who have long held the monopoly. The core of the issue is control. When a country buys an American F-35, it buys into an entire ecosystem controlled by the United States. This includes software updates, maintenance schedules, spare parts, and operational protocols. Washington, in effect, holds the keys to its allies' air forces. The Gripen, however, is different. It offers world-class performance without the strings attached. It is a tool of sovereignty, not a subscription to another nation's power. This simple fact has sent ripples of concern through the halls of the Pentagon and beyond, as they watch a Swedish jet offer the world something they cannot: true independence. The most revolutionary aspect of the Gripen is not its airframe or its engine, but its brain. In a groundbreaking development that has sent shockwaves through the defense community, the Gripen E has successfully integrated an artificial intelligence pilot. This AI, known as Centaur, was not just a simulation. In a series of tests conducted in mid-2025, an AI-driven Gripen engaged in complex aerial combat maneuvers against a human-piloted aircraft. The results were staggering. The AI demonstrated an ability to react, adapt, and strategize at speeds no human pilot could ever hope to match, effectively fighting its human counterpart to a standstill in its very first real-world test. This AI's true advantage lies in its ability to learn. While a human pilot takes years of training and thousands of flight hours to reach elite status, the Gripen's AI can achieve this in a fraction of the time. Hooked into advanced simulators, the AI can run through millions of combat scenarios, learning and evolving with each one. Project Beyond, the Swedish initiative behind this technology, has demonstrated that the AI can gain the equivalent of 30 years of combat experience in a single week. This means the Gripen's tactical software can evolve faster than a superpower can design, and build a new generation of fighter, making traditional development cycles obsolete. This leap in technology fundamentally changes the calculus of air superiority. For decades, the advantage has gone to the nation with the best trained pilots and the most advanced physical hardware. The Gripen, however, suggests a future where the decisive factor is the sophistication of the software. An AI pilot does not get tired, feel fear, or suffer from G-force-induced loss of consciousness. It can process data from sensors, analyze the tactical situation, and execute the perfect maneuver in milliseconds. This allows a single Gripen to potentially outthink and outfly even the most advanced jets flown by the most experienced human pilots. This creates a terrifying prospect for military planners in Washington and Moscow. They have invested trillions of dollars in creating aircraft designed for human operation, focusing on stealth and speed. The Gripen's AI threatens to sidestep these advantages entirely. It suggests that a smaller, more agile and less expensive jet, equipped with a superior AI, could dominate a battle space against a larger force of more expensive but less intelligent aircraft. This is not just an upgrade. It is a paradigm shift that could render entire fleets of fifth-generation fighters dangerously outdated before they have even seen significant combat. The Gripen's rise is not happening in a vacuum. It comes at a time of growing unease within Europe about the continent's deep reliance on the United States for its security. For years, NATO's air power strategy has been built around American-made jets, culminating in the widespread adoption of the F-35. This was meant to create a unified and interoperable force. However, this reliance has a downside. It makes European nations dependent on US political decisions, supply chains, and technological control. Amid shifting global politics, many countries are starting to see this dependency as a significant strategic vulnerability rather than a strength. This has led to a noticeable trust deficit regarding American military hardware. The F-35, for all its capabilities, is viewed by some as a golden cage. European nations worry that, in a crisis, the US could withhold crucial spare parts, delay software updates, or even use its control over the jet's complex systems to ground their fleets. While unsubstantiated, rumors of a kill switch embedded in the F-35's software persist, fueling fears that the aircraft could be remotely disabled. This anxiety has made the prospect of a European-made alternative like the Gripen incredibly attractive, as it promises full control over a nation's own defense assets. Consequently, countries that were once firmly in the F-35 camp are now reconsidering their options. Nations like Portugal and even major powers like Germany have expressed renewed interest in platforms that offer greater strategic autonomy. The Gripen is perfectly positioned to capitalize on this sentiment. It is not just a Swedish jet, it is increasingly seen as a European jet. Its development involves partners from across the continent, including German AI firms, and it represents a move toward a self-sufficient European defense industry. Choosing the Gripen is becoming a political statement, a declaration of independence from American oversight. This shift is not just about politics, it is also about practicality. The Gripen is famously cost-effective. Its purchase price is a fraction of the F-35ES, and its operational costs are significantly lower, estimated to be around $4,700 per flight hour compared to the F-35's staggering $44,000. For nations facing budgetary pressures but still needing to modernize their air forces, the choice is simple. They can buy a larger fleet of highly capable Gripens for the price of a handful of F-35s. This allows them to project credible air power without being locked into the monumental lifetime costs associated with American jets, further eroding US influence over European defense policy. The growing adoption of the Gripen poses a direct threat to the strategic cohesion of alliances like NATO. The entire modern concept of Western air power is built on interoperability, the idea that aircraft from different nations can seamlessly communicate, share data, and use the same munitions and support infrastructure. The F-35 was designed to be the central pillar of this strategy, a common platform that would unite the air forces of the United States and its allies. Every F-35 sold was another knot, tying the alliance together under American technological leadership. The Gripen, by its very existence, threatens to unravel this carefully woven fabric. As more European nations opt for the Swedish jet, they are choosing to step outside of this unified F-35 ecosystem. This could lead to a fragmented alliance, where two distinct and potentially incompatible air power blocks emerge, one centered around the American F-35 and another around the European Gripen. This would complicate joint operations, undermine unified command and control structures, and weaken the collective strength of the alliance. For a superpower like the United States, whose global influence is magnified through its alliances, This fragmentation represents a significant erosion of its power. A divided NATO is a weaker NATO, and a weaker NATO gives rivals like Russia and China more room to maneuver. The long-term implications of this trend could reshape the future of aerial warfare. The Gripen's success proves that a smaller, more agile nation can compete with superpowers by focusing on smart, cost-effective innovation rather than sheer industrial scale. Its advanced AI, lower operational costs, and political independence make it a disruptive force in the global arms market. This could inspire other middle-power nations to develop their own niche, high-tech military systems, further breaking down the old hierarchies. The era of a few dominant powers controlling the skies through prohibitively expensive platforms may be coming to an end. Ultimately, the fear of the Gripen is a fear of a changing world. It is the fear that control is slipping away. The jet represents a future where air superiority is not guaranteed by the size of a defense budget or the legacy of past dominance. Instead, it will be determined by superior software, strategic independence, and the ability to adapt quickly. The Gripen is more than just a fighter jet. It is a symbol of a new multipolar world where smaller players can challenge the giants. For the old guard, who have long enjoyed their perch at the top, this is a deeply unsettling prospect, signaling that the future of the skies is no longer theirs to command alone.